Lesson 35 demo. Today is our review day for test number 3. Subject areas for the test generally are related rates, implicit differentiation, families of curves, L'Hopital's rule, linear and quadratic approximation, as well as the two named theorems, the mean value theorem and the racetrack principle. There's a much more detailed list in the study guide that follows on the page or two after this one. For each item in that list, try to figure out what kinds of questions I might ask that are related to that item and make sure you know the process for answering those kinds of questions. Let's look at this item from the study guide to see what I mean. Find the local linearization and quadratic approximation of a differentiable function and use it to estimate values for a function. So if you have no idea what that means, then you got to go find in the notes or in the book or in our YouTube videos, references to these kinds of approximation methods. But at some point, hopefully you get to the place where you understand, oh, this is the kind of problem where we're given a particular function and we are trying to approximate that function with a linear thing of the form ax plus b, or a quadratic thing of the form ax squared plus bx plus c. And the process would be to take, I'll just do this quadratic one, but you take the first and second derivatives of this thing, you plug into all three functions, that's the original and the two derivatives we just took, plug the specified number, it's going to be specified in the problem, plug that into the original and the two derivatives. Then completely separate from that, you do the same thing with the original function that was given to you. You take its first and second derivatives and you plug the specified number into those three functions, and then you make the corresponding pieces equal to each other. When we wrote this thing out, we were really organized and it was always the middle two columns equaling each other. You solve those three equations for A, B, and C using some algebra, and then you just rewrite your final answer as this thing, but replace A, B, and C with the specific numbers that you have found. And then once you have this as a specific formula with A, B, and C being numbers, you can use that to estimate values for the original function by just plugging values of x into this thing. And if your values of x are not too far away from the specified number in the function, then the approximation given by that quadratic shouldn't be too far away from the right answer, the function value, the given function value at that number. So I know that was very kind of general, but you should get to a place, if you're really well prepared for the test, where you can look at this, find the local linearization line and understand, oh, okay, this is the kind of question that this is talking about, and here's the general process to do them. And if you don't feel comfortable with the general process, or you don't know what this is about, then that means you got work to do. You got to get to a place where you know what this is about and you know the general process. Okay, as usual, you can use a one-page sheet of notes. You should keep that sheet and bring it with you to the final exam. You can also use the guideline for related rates. It is page 3 of this packet. You should rip that out of the packet and bring it with you to the test. The one-page sheet of notes, you can write anything you want front and back. Just make sure it is something that you are writing and not something you are photocopying. On tests, you can use only a scientific calculator, not a graphing one. Your instructor can lend you one if you don't have one of your own. Test is intended to be 1 hour long, but you can use 2 hours on my tests. I'm not going to write a specific time window here, but I will for your class. Please talk to me before the test as soon as possible if you have an accommodation providing for extra time. As usual, show all of your work. Your learning objectives for next class are to study really hard, but then there is a reading assignment for the class after next one. As usual, there are sample test problems on the pages that follow, and all of those problems have video solutions on YouTube.